I'm going to take you step by step how to use the most powerful AI tool in the world, Cursor AI. By the end of this video, you'll be able to build any app you've ever wanted to build, no programming experience required. Any app idea you've ever had in your life, you can now build it, put it on the internet, and make money off of it. Doesn't matter if you've never written a code ever before. Let's get into it. Boom, I'm over here now. Let's get right into it. So what you're looking at here is Cursor AI on the left-hand side. This is the most powerful AI tool I've ever used in my entire life. What Cursor AI allows you to do is anyone, no matter how little programming experience they have, even if they've never written a single line of code in their entire life, can build the web app, the mobile app, whatever kind of application you want of your dreams. Doesn't matter. If you've never even seen a line of code in your life, you can now go in and build any application you want in seconds. It's incredible. Whether it's a video game, whether you want to build a Flappy Bird imitation, whether you want to build a note-taking app, whether you want to build a competitor to Notion, whatever it is, you can go in, say, hey, please build me this app, and it builds it for you. It's mind-blowing. And what's great about this is now anyone can be an entrepreneur. Anyone can come up with an idea with an app. Anyone can then get it built and get it shipped. If you're anything like me, you've come up with a billion different app ideas over your life. And a lot of the time, you just never execute on them, whether it's because you don't have the skills to do it or you don't have the resources. A lot of people come up with ideas and just aren't able to build them out. Now with Cursor AI, anyone can come up with ideas for apps and get them built literally in seconds. So what we're going to cover in this video is first, I'm going to take you through a quick demonstration so you know what Cursor is capable of. Then I'll take you to the website and we'll cover how much it costs, set up, all of that. Then I'm going to take you into the UI. I'm going to show you all the different elements of the UI so you know how to use it. And then I'm going to go into the settings. We'll make sure our settings match so you can get the most out of Cursor. And then I'll go through a full-scale demonstration where I'll build you a full application end-to-end so you know everything it's capable of. We'll debug it. We'll write different pieces of code for it. We'll customize it. We'll do different stylings. It'll be great fun. So over here on the left is Cursor AI. Over on the right is a demonstration app. When you build a new app, this is what you're going to see. So I can go in here. I can say, build me a note-taking app where I can write a note and then save it. Then I can access the notes down below. Really basic note-taking app. Just gave it a couple sentences of what I want. I hit enter. And watch what it's doing. It is generating all the code for us, which is pretty unbelievable. If you've never written a line of code before, it doesn't matter. It's doing it for you. Here we go. We can accept all. It's going to accept it. Completed. Press save, and you can see on the right, there's your note-taking app. Within seconds, it's built, right? Write your note here. I love Cursor. Save note. Boom, it's saved. I didn't write a single line of code. I wrote a couple of sentences in English and I have an app. And now I can do other things, right? Now I can go in and say, please make this prettier. Make the note-taking section bigger. And I'm basically going in and having developers write code for me. It's a free developer that's just writing code for me. It's building all the files I need. I don't need to know any code. I hit accept. And it's good to go, and it builds out my app and edits it. It's pretty amazing. I just hit save, and now the note-taking section's bigger, and the whole thing's better. I didn't write a single line of code. And now you think about the possibilities. If I sat here for 10 more minutes, kept adding new functionality, I could have a pretty compelling app on my hands. Again, what's incredible here is anyone can now build the apps of their dreams. No coding experience required. Now let's get into how to use Cursor AI. I probably got you interested in the program. Now let's talk about how it works. Here's the Cursor website. We're going to go right into the pricing. So there is a free version. If you're just starting, you can get away with using the free version easily. You can't do as many prompts, but maybe you just want to go in and get your feet wet, right? You can try it out. Also comes with a trial for the more complex versions. But if you really want to use this hardcore, put in a ton of prompts, do a lot more stuff, you could upgrade to the pro version for $20 a month, but I would recommend everyone start the free version, test it out, make sure it's for you. But I'm really blown away with this. I'm pretty confident you'll probably move up eventually, but you can easily get away with doing the free version. And then here's the application itself. I showed you a little bit of this during the demo at the beginning, but it's really, really simple. What you see in the middle here is where you put your code. If you're a programmer, here's where programmers normally write their code, but you're probably not going to be using this as much if you don't have programming experience. And that's totally fine. You don't need to do this. You can have AI build everything for you. So you have two different options when it comes to building an app with AI. The chat box on the right and the composer. So the chat bar is accessed by doing Command L, or you can hit this button up here in the top right. And this chat bar is basically like having your own AI developer working for you. You can ask it questions. You can have it debug things for you. You can have it write code for you. You can have it do research for you. You have a full AI developer here working for you. And you can talk to it in plain English. You don't need to know anything technical, right? So if I want to come in and say, write me code for a note-taking app and hit enter, the developer is now going to go and do work for me, right? It builds the full code for me in seconds for a note-taking app. And then if I wanted to, I can just hit apply, get it implemented, or I can keep chatting with it back and forth. It has full context over everything you've been saying to it. So you can have a real full-scale conversation with it. I really like using the chat bar for some quick questions, to get things debugged real quick. For my full scale edits, I like to use the composer, which I'll go through in a second. Just some other cool features here too. Going back into the chat bar over here, you can choose any AI model you want. I choose, and I highly recommend, Claude 3.5 Sonnet. It is without a doubt the most powerful coding model available right now as of the date of this video. So make sure to choose that. But you can do a lot of different things. You can also mention different files. If you want to talk about very specific files to change when you get more familiar with your program, you can do that. You can even mention the web. If you want to say, look up this application on the web and copy it, you can tag the web and do that. There are so many different little cool things you can do. You can even put in images, right? So if I take an image and put it into this code section, I can actually say, copy this UI. Let me show you. So I'm going to put in here this screenshot I just took of ChatGPT. It's going to take the image, and I can say, make the UI look like this. I hit enter. It's actually going to start making the UI out of the image I sent, right? So you can see here's the code. I can hit apply, accept, and then apply, accept. It's creating all the different files for us. We just accepted it. Now that that code's set, let's actually see what it looks like. So I pull over my original window. Boom! It made the UI look exactly like ChatGPT. It even says message ChatGPT in it. That's pretty amazing. And that was all just off an image. I didn't even write any text. I didn't even write English. I just sent a picture and it made it. That's how powerful this is. That's all the different things you can do. And this is, again, without any technical experience required whatsoever. But the other option is the composer. If I hit Command-Shift-I, this opens up the composer. And this is where we basically just talking to a developer and the developer is implementing stuff for us. When we do things in the composer goes in and actually creates different files for us. It creates whatever kind of code files we need to launch applications. So if I went in here and said, make this prettier, it builds the JavaScript code out, builds the CSS code, which is the styling code. It builds it all out for us. We just hit accept and it's good to go. The composer is by far the most powerful feature of Cursor. This is where it's just you talking to your built-in AI developer and the developer is going in and writing code and creating files for you. It really is amazing. So really important section here. I want to take you through my settings. The settings are very critical to have aligned correctly. It'll make sure you get the most out of Cursor and get the best performance. So let's go into settings. You can do settings up here in the top right. And where we'll start off is the models, right? So we want to make sure we have the right AI models in use. We want to make sure we have the best AI models doing our work for us. So I disabled some of the weaker models. We're mostly going to be using Claude 3.5 Sonnet, but just in case other backup ones need to be used, I left on GPT 4.0 and a couple others. So make sure to pause here, copy these over. And then where we're going to go next is into features. So this is an important one as well. Pause here. Make sure you have these aligned in your settings too. So for these, I enable a lot of the recommendations that the AI can give you. I make sure we use the fastest models possible. But having these enabled will make sure you get maximum AI recommendations automatically in everything you're doing, which will make it a lot easier for you as you're coding. And then when I scroll down here, you can copy these as well. But basically what we're doing is a couple different stylistic choices, making sure, again, we get tooltips that pop up that make this as easy as possible to do, and basically make this as beginner friendly as possible. So again, pause here, make sure you have these match up, and you can go back later and customize this any way you want. I have this set up for the most beginner friendly recommendations possible. And then lastly, maybe most importantly, we want to go into beta and we want to enable the composer. The composer is probably the most powerful tool in all of Cursor. So come in here and make sure that's enabled. Even though it's in beta, it works really, really well, and it's going to do a lot of magical things for you. So enable that, because a lot of the tutorials after this will be using the composer. Right before we get into this demonstration, I build out a full-scale app for you. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications below. I'm going to be making tons and tons of more videos like this, showing you how to build out applications. If you want to build the applications of your dream, no programming experience required. Put it on the internet, make money. Make sure to hit subscribe so you can learn everything there is about AI, programming, and technology. So let's get into the demonstration portion now. I'm going to build you a full-scale app. I'm going to show you editing. I'm going to show you debugging. I'm going to show you everything you need to do to build your own full-scale application. No programming experience required. Now what I'm going to quickly show you is how to set up your own demo app of your own. So you have a template ready to go so you can start building your own apps. This is what you're going to need to do at the beginning. You just enter these couple of commands in, your demo app is ready to go, and then you can start talking to the AI and build whatever app it is you need. I'm going to put these commands down below too so you can copy and paste them if you'd like, but I'll show you how to do it here first. The first thing you want to do is actually open up your terminal. You do that with Control-tilde key. That pops up what you see here down below. So what I'm going to show you how to do is actually install a React application. React is a framework regularly used on the internet. Most web apps use it. It's just the easiest way to get web apps up and running. And it's going to be something the AI understands that you can give it commands to. So if you've never installed React before, the first thing you need to do is install Node. Node is one of the packages that make it really easy to install applications. Type in npm install -g npm. You hit enter on that. That installs Node. And now what we can do next is install React. So you hit enter on that, and then we'll come in after that installs. I already have it installed, so that's why I'm not hitting enter on it. Then what you can do is now let's get React installed. And that is going to be done through npm create React app. And then you can give it whatever name you want here, but maybe you just give it my app. You hit enter. This is going to then install React. It's going to set up your boilerplate code, your demo app. It's going to be called my app. And then from there, you can just go right into the new file system it created. So for you, it'll create where you see base right here. It's going to say my app, and then you can just do cd my dash, and then if you hit tab, it'll autocomplete for you. Do that. It'll put the rest in there. You hit enter. Now you're in your new application. Now you can start writing your code through the AI. If you get lost in any of these sections, the AI will help you as well. So just pop open your chat box and say, hey, I'm caught up here. This isn't working for me. The AI will walk you through it, but all the commands I use will be down below. So again, we're back to Cursor. I got my app again over to the right. Let's build a new application. I pull up the composer, which again, it is Command-Shift-I on Mac. To pull it up. I'm sure it's probably Control-Shift-I on computer, PC. So let's, for this demonstration, let's build out a to-do list app, one of the most basic apps we can do, and then we'll make it a little bit more advanced and interesting. So we'll start off with the most basic prompt we can do. I want to build a simple to-do list app. One sentence. I didn't even hit period. I hit enter. Here we go. It's building the code for us. It's building the files. We hit accept in the bottom right here. Okay, we got a very basic to-do list app on the right. Let's say buy some groceries. Add. We can say subscribe to Alex Finn. Add, turn on notifications, add. So now let's do some more interesting things with this, right? So I'm going to go in. I'm going to say, maybe we want to add a date for every to-do item so that we know when the due date is. Make it so I can add a due date for every to-do item. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm talking to the AI like it's a developer. I'm telling it what I want, and then it goes and builds the code for us. You can talk to it like it's a human being. You don't need to talk to it like it's code or programming or whatever it is. Literally pretend like it's a developer. Pretend like it's a human being and tell it what you want it to do, even in the most simple terms possible. Okay, so it wrote some code for us for the to-do. We accept it. Here we go. Now I can say buy groceries, and I can say make it due by the 1st. There we go. I have my to-do item. It's due by that date. Now maybe we want to make it a little prettier. Obviously, I don't think anyone would want to use this to-do list app the way it is now, but let's make it a little prettier. Make the to-do items prettier. I want them in a table below the input. Style it so it looks nice. Here we go. So we're doing a little bit of styling here, right? You're not only describing what functionality you want, you're describing how you want to make it look. And so it's building the styling for us. I hit accept. Now we got a nice little table here. I actually kind of like the way this looks. But maybe we want to make every to-do item's background a nice light blue. You know, maybe we want to add a little bit of color to this to spice it up a bit. I made it like a nice powder blue. Let's accept it. Okay, so now we got a little bit of color to it. Okay, but okay, now I want to be able to check off these to-do items, right? I went to Whole Foods right before this. I picked up some way overpriced cereal. Let me make sure I can hit the check mark here. Make it so there's a check box next to the to-do item so that when I check it, it disappears. Alrighty. Here we go, generating the code. We want to be able to check it off. We want to be able to get that dopamine hit when we finish the task. I hit the checkbox, it disappears. I get a nice dopamine hit. Why else would you do a to-do list other than getting dopamine hits from doing tasks? Here we go. Let's accept it. Code's all written for us. I was talking to you. My developer went off, wrote the code. Now it's good to go. Here we go. Checkbox gone. Task done. Now we got a functional to-do list app here. I haven't wrote a single line of code. This is as functional as any other to-do list. I mean, Microsoft's paying developers millions of dollars to build apps worse than this, and we just built it by ourselves for free. Let's put another to-do list item here. Eat my overpriced Whole Foods cereal. All right, let's make that due for tomorrow. I'm actually going to do it right after I finish this video. I'm going to eat the overpriced cereal. So we got that in there. Now we can start doing some other interesting things. Maybe we want to do something really interesting. Maybe we want to get more dopamine hits every time we do a to-do item. When I hit a task being done, I not only want it to disappear, I want to pop up with a motivational quote, just so I feel really good about doing that task. Whenever I click the checkbox to finish a task, make the task disappear, and then have a dialog box pop up that tells me great job and says something motivational. You know, I really want to feel good every time I do a task. So I'm telling the AI to go there, build out the functionality. If this was the real world and I hired a developer to do this, I'd be paying them $10,000. They'd go out, get this command. They'd go buy a Starbucks for $15, drink the Starbucks. They'd go play video games for 2 hours, and they'd write the code, come back a day later, charge me $10,000 and be good to go. With Cursor, it's done. It's over. I hit the command. It goes in. Seconds later, let's do this. Let's check it off. Boom. You're making excellent progress. I get the pop-up. Now I'm feeling great every single time I do a task. I just showed you how you can build a full-scale application by yourself. I showed you how you can go back, make edits, try new things. I gave you somewhat creative ideas for styling. We did a lot here. Here's another thing. Let's go in and do a little bit of debugging too. Let's say we broke the code somehow, right? So I go in, boom, we got the red lines, which means there's a bug. Oh no, we got compiler issues. All right, let's do this. Let's go into our chat This is something you're going to run into a lot if you ever do coding. You're going to constantly run into bugs. Let's talk about how we can fix it. So I can say, hey, there is a bug. Can you please fix it? Hit enter. I'm just telling the developer to go in and fix this. I don't know what's going on, developer. Please go in and fix our issues. Code's written. It figured out what the issue is. It explains to us. I apologize. It's apologizing to me for the oversight. It's not even the one that did the bug, and it's apologizing to me. That's the way I want my employees working for me. If I screw up, you apologize to me. Thank you, Cursor AI. This is the way I want my developers working for me. Now let's hit accept. Apply that. Hit save, boom, fixed it. They fixed it for me. I screw up. They say, my bad. They take the blame for the mess up, even though it's my fault. They fix it. It's done. I might get rid of all my friends and just talk to Cursor AI. This is the type of support I want around me. So we did it all. I showed you Cursor AI. I showed you how to set it up. I showed you all the features you need to know about. I showed you how to build your own application. I showed you how to treat it poorly. We're good here. You are now fully prepared to go and build your own applications. No programming experience needed. Put out your applications on the internet. Start making money. You're a tech entrepreneur. You're basically Bill Gates at this point. You're basically Jeff Bezos. How easy was that? Too easy. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know down below what you plan on building. I would love to hear what you plan on building. Let me know what you'd like me to build. I'm going to create hundreds of more videos just like this. I want to build applications for you. Let me know what you want me to build. I'll go out and build the video. Everything is based on user feedback. I love you guys. Subscribe, turn on notifications, hit the like button if you got anything out of this. Make sure to sign up for my free newsletter in the description as well. I put out a ton of AI content in that. And also follow me on X. That's one of my favorite social media sites. So appreciate you all. Love you all. I'll see you next time.